What if I told you it takes 10 years to become an overnight celebrity?
That's accurate. I would say give or take. And if you're not working on your craft, is it really even your craft?
1, 2, 3.
It all started with real talk, unfiltered, honest, and straight from the heart. Since then, we've gone on to become Webby Award-winning podcasters and New York Times best-selling authors.
Deadass was more than a podcast for us. It was about our growth. A place where we could be vulnerable, be raw.
Pause. But most importantly, be us.
But as we know, life keeps evolving, and so do we. And through it all, one thing has never changed.
This is Ellis Ever
After.
Deadass.
Because we got a lot to talk about.
Story time. I'm going to take y'all back to 2006. I wasn't drafted. I was a free agent tryout in the NFL by the Detroit Lions. Chuck Prefer was my special teams coach. And it was in practice. I was a free agent. I hadn't returned punts and kicks in college. Well, I returned kicks in college. I didn't return punts because I was a starting receiver, so they wanted to make sure he was ready for offense. So now I'm a rookie in the NFL, and like, yo, Devale, you return punts? And I'm like, yeah. So the punt goes in the air. It looks like a Skittle in the air. I got these towels tucked under my arms, and I'm struggling to find it. And I said to myself, I said to God, God, if you let me catch this punt, I promise you with everything I have, I'm going to donate whatever money I get from this team, and I'm going to pay it forward. And that ball dropped in my chest, and I just started running, right? Chuck Prefer came over to me and said, you ain't never returned a punt in your life, have you? And I was like, dang, how could you tell? He said, I've been doing this for years, and I can tell when someone is doing this and not doing this the right way. If you ever want to return punts in the NFL, you have to catch 50 punts after practice every day. So I got on the jugs machine, and I caught 50 punts every day from the spring all the way to the summer. And that's how I actually became a master of my craft. And even in that full, how many months was that? I would say 7 months of practicing. And every day we talking about 4 or 5 practices a day. I probably caught about 250 punts a week. Still didn't feel like a master because every time that punt went in the air, it was like, God, please remember that deal we made. If you let me catch this, I'll pay this money forward. So, yeah, it takes way more than just watching some YouTube videos and doing it a couple times and becoming a master.
I hear that.
I look around and I say, if he ain't go to the league, I ain't going to the league. What I got to do? So I told him, I said, yo, invest these next 5 years of your life for your future. He worked with me as a mentor at PS 282. He got his degree in education. He was saving money and still living with his parents. After 2 years, he was like, yo, I'm gonna start teaching, but I'm gonna start tutoring. So I said, you need to start tutoring like I did for training and get group tutoring so that you can build money and focus on creating content on social media, build your social media like I did. Fast forward 5 years from that conversation, he quit teaching, moved to Atlanta. If you got a young athlete that's in college, make sure you stay close. All right, because the university don't care. And that coach that recruited them, especially if it's football or basketball, may not even be there the full 4 years they did. So parents, just know that's still your responsibility. Even when they say, don't worry, he like a son to me, or she like a daughter to me. No, they're not. That's still your child, baby.
All right, karaoke time. What we got today, team? There's a couple of songs floating around, I feel like.
Working at the car wash.
Talking about the car wash. I wasn't expecting to hear that one.
I did not expect that one either. I don't think that one didn't come out
Crazy.
pre-show. Of course, you know, my fave. Work, 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 work.
Island
Send
Girl.
me happy work, 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 work. Send me and then we work, 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 work.
You can't go wrong with Riri.
That's I love you, like.
You know what I just realized? Yeah, you don't know none of them words.
What are you saying?
She don't know none of them words. You know what I realized about this generation? They don't make a lot of songs about work. Think about it. Just think about the generation we in. How many rappers, R&B singers, anybody made songs about work? Kanye's the last song I heard about work. Kanye's Workout Plan. That's the last song I've heard about work. Why do y'all think that is?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm trying to think of anybody.
You
I
mean
mean, I guess
working? Like jobs
like
about
yeah,
working?
they speak about their life maybe and their livelihoods, but
Nah.
everyone's
They
can't
livelihood
relate
is
to hard work.
different.
Like for example, I forgot the name of the song I was listening to. People gonna kill me because it's a '90s song. Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. It was like there was lyrics about how people were working. This was in the '90s. I know it wasn't When They Reminisce Over You. It was a different song. It wasn't Tribe Called Quest neither. Whoever grew up in the '90s, y'all know that lyric. Trying to make $1 out of 15
I've
cents.
heard
But
that one too.
in the '90s, they talked a lot about trying to make some money, trying to come up. And it seemed like rap now or music now is everybody that came up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's a rapper now already been rich.
Everybody
they
up.
already made money. So it's like
Right.
there's no songs about work. I just find that crazy.
That is interesting. Never thought about it that way. That or love. Or you know what?
That's another thing too. They got songs
Making
about
love.
sex.
Yeah.
They
Right,
ain't
I'm
no
about to
songs
say.
about love.
All the songs are about hardcore fucking these days.
That's a fact. That's
One
a
of
fact.
my
Across all
favorite
genres.
lyrics to hate is in a Tiana Taylor song, and she goes, "Titties in your mouth." I'm like,
Why you hate that?
there was no other way for you to say that. Back in the day, Evelyn Champagne King said, "You make my love come down." That's
Yeah.
freaky as hell.
That is true.
That's freaky as hell.
Yeah, it's more like innuendo-ish.
Yeah, they do
versus, like,
innuendos.
blatant.
Well, did you see the new story about Hollywood writers claiming that studios asked them to dumb down their scripts because people are watching TV and watching movies with a 5-inch screen in their hand?
Secondary viewing.
So they're just like, don't
Yeah.
make things so complex. You know who told me the same thing
insane.
though? And this is the talks to the genius.
Who?
Tyler.
PP? Yeah.
I wrote a script, I sent it to Tyler, and he was like, this is too convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what you mean? He was like, the audience is not going to be able to keep up with this. They're not going to just watch this. They're doing other things. And I'm like, dang, the fact that you picked up on that was 2021. He had said that to me.
So no longer, like for me, the whole point of locking into a movie, for example, like a psychological thriller, it's like you want to be like, oh my God, like
Right.
they're piecing this puzzle together. So is that we're watching with a different eye now? I guess the different generations or the younger ones?
I think so. I think it's fair to say, like, our generation was really into storytelling. We were really into visuals. We were really into how it was put together. This generation just kind of seems like they want the shock value, and they need something that's going to keep their attention, but not be too difficult. Because if it's too difficult, it's like I'm not watching this anymore. That's what it seems like. And I mean, a Hollywood Reporter said the same thing. They've been telling writers to dumb it down, which is crazy to me.
Dang.
Yeah, that is crazy. I did just watch a really good movie that wasn't dumbed down, and I'm going to be honest and say I don't know if I got it.
What movie was it?
It's
Which one?
called Begonia with Emma Stone.
Oh,
Okay.
and Jesse Plemons.
I want
Yeah.
to see it.
It's
It
really
was
good.
complex?
It's really good. It is complex, yeah. Because like when you're watching a movie, you know that they're trying to say something more than just like the story that they're telling you.
Absolutely.
You know they're making some type of like commentary on
Absolutely.
society.
Right.
And you got to figure it out because they're not going to spell it out for you.
Absolutely.
And there's been so many movies where I have to then go Google, like, what the hell did this movie mean?
That's like Zootopia too.
I
Or even
love
the original one.
Zootopia.
We took
Yeah.
I
kids
love
to see that.
Zootopia.
And it was good because it talks about pretty much
Yo,
the whole ecosystem that is society.
Zootopia 2, I was like, wait a minute. So y'all took the snake's patent, killed the snake, covered up the snake, then blamed all the snakes for all the negative things that happen in the world, cast them out, and then buried their land under a natural disaster.
Oh, snap. Zootopia went off.
When did this ever happen in history
Zootopia
before?
snapped
man.
on that
And the crazy
one.
thing, it was a powerful family who did all of this.
Right.
And they kept covering up and killing people to cover up their cover up. And it kept getting worse until, and here's the craziest part about it. The snake,
Is this a spoiler alert?
it's a little bit of small, but Zootopia's been out for 2 months already at this point. And if you ain't seen Zootopia, that's on you. All right?
Right. Fact.
The snake didn't even want revenge. He just wanted the truth to come out so the world could be a better place. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's black people. Because if we wanted revenge, bro, you know what I'm saying? Black people don't even want revenge. We just want things to be fair so that we can live and be unbothered. That's really the truth. And when I watched Zootopia, that was the underlying theme on top of the theme where they talked about mental health.
Yes.
'Cause
Well,
there
that's
was a scene-
the whole nother caveat.
And it was great the way they did this because they used partners. Like, I would say partners because they weren't intimate partners. They weren't brother and sister. They were working together. And they had to go to therapy.
The rabbit and the fox.
The rabbit and the
Yeah.
fox. And they had to go to therapy to figure out what was wrong with them as a couple, or as partners. And while doing that, they just uncovered all of their own traumas. And it was like word vomit at the end of the movie. Both characters were going back, I'm wrong because I did this, I did that. I really needed you to do this. I really needed you. And the other one was like, oh, I feel good that you said that because I found out this about myself and I neglect doing this and I'm sorry. And they hugged each other. And I was like, this is like telling everybody that you need therapy, not because, something's wrong with you, but you need to learn yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this movie is real deep. Like kids watched it, but adults, I was in that movie like, wow, this is powerful.
Yeah, I was locked in. I didn't fall asleep on that one, y'all.
No, you didn't fall asleep.
I didn't.
But to me, that's what happens when you have a film that has the ability to draw you into the world. Because if you were watching it and it was simple and you watching your phone, then you miss those things. When it has you drawn in like that, that's what I miss about film. Old school films really did that a lot.
Attention spans ain't set up like they used to be.
I also feel that's why movies should be in the theaters.
I agree.
So you can focus.
That's
if
a
you're
good
doing
point.
1,001 things, you're not really going to pay attention.
That is true. You know how many times I had to rewind a scene and rewind a scene to
I did that yesterday. I was watching The Time to Kill.
They talk about delaying stuff in like certain parts of the film, not in TV, because people are having to go back, like they scroll back at a consistent point where they've noticed where to put certain things in TV.
That's interesting.
Matt just said something. Remember back in the day, it was taboo to have your phone out in the theater.
Yeah.
Which is why when you go to the theater and it's dark, you really capture more because your phone can't even be out because people will look at you like, why is your phone on?
Yeah.
So that's a good point about people, going back to the theaters to watch films. I never thought about that.
Hold it down, Netflix. Don't sell out on us.
Hold it down.
Right.
All right, let's hold it down and pay some bills real quick, and we will be back with Op or New Op. Stick around.
You made that. I can make it called old gray mare. Old gray mare. Old gray hair. Old gray hair.
What happened? Yeah. See the difference? You see the difference? You have to do it with purpose, not just to do the drill. Yes? Yep. Knees up, even with your hips. Yes, sir. 1, 2, there you go. Come on, don't cross your feet. Yes, sir. All right. Good. Now I gave them all my secrets, and now they know how to play, right?
I know, but we got it. Oh man, he has gray hairs, y'all. We gotta get him.
Why they gotta talk to you like that? All I'm trying to do is help y'all.
All right, we back. Op or no op? What you got for us, Trip?
All right, we have to talk about the Sharon Moore scandal.
Yeah.
We just must. So if you haven't heard about the Sharon Moore scandal at this point, you've been living under a rock or just protecting your peace because it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Sharon Moore is the head coach at University of Michigan, or was. He signed in 2024, he signed a $27 million 5-year contract. So about $6 million a year for him to coach at Michigan, which he squandered by having an affair with a young woman who reported to him. Allegedly. So this is what the story is. Apparently, their relationship was an open secret. So Sharon Moore is married with kids, and he was having an affair with this young woman. Everybody knew about it. And someone...
That's a fact. They all knew about it?
Yeah, people knew. So someone reported it to some higher-ups, and the higher-ups gave Sharon Moore a chance to either fire the young lady or move her to a different department. So what did he do? He fired her. So she said, oh, okay. All right.
And he fired her after giving her a raise.
So when somebody reported it, they didn't come with any evidence. They asked for evidence and nobody would, snitch. So after he fired her, then she came with the evidence. She's the number one person that would need to say something, right? So obviously he gets fired. It's a fireable offense to have, an affair with somebody that's working under you. And after he got fired, he went to the young woman's house and threatened to kill himself with a butter knife, apparently, outside of her home.
You know how
for which he
long
was
that would've
arrested.
took?
Yeah, exactly.
You know how hard that would have been.
Exactly.
I promise. I promise I'll do it. I promise.
You real
Wait right here.
unserious.
Just wait.
You real unserious if you threaten to
Not
kill yourself with a
above
butter
Like, yeah,
knife.
like, come
Steve.
on, man. And that's not to make joke to people who really
And
go through.
if it's a metal one, it's probably not as sharp.
Right.
You might as well go with the plastic.
Plastic.
joint.
I was thinking that you better off going off with a plastic
Oh
shiv like
my
you in prison,
God.
bro.
Yeah.
But
Like, this is
wait.
comical. It ain't supposed to be funny, but a butter knife, like, who does that? Like, I promise you. I promise you.
Was there an
I'm gonna
alleged
jump off this curb and kill myself.
was there an alleged baby as well? Was that part of the story, or am I mixing two stories together? That
Yeah.
she might have been pregnant.
I did not hear about the baby, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
no,
surprised.
I did hear at one
I
point
did
that
hear
there was,
something
there's a
about
lot of rumors.
Yeah,
That's why
it's
it's
mad.
hard to even have opinions about this
Mm-hmm.
because of the rumors. This is the only thing I will say, though. When you have those positions of power and you're a job like that, you have a responsibility,
Mhm.
right, to protect the people who work underneath you. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, black or white, you have that responsibility. When I was training and mentoring kids, one of the number one rules my brother and I, who wasn't married at the time, was that we weren't going to be involved with anybody who we worked with. That was just a rule because that's how you avoid these things.
Mhm.
And that's what I think it just needs to come down to. I don't care who snitched. I don't care what happened. It's just you get $6 million to be a leader of men.
Mhm.
Like, these are young men from 18 to 22. And as a father, if I say, hey, you got Jackson for the next 4 years to help mentor, and then I find out that you're making poor decisions like that, I can't trust you with my son.
Exactly.
So as the university, they're going to be like, we got to get rid of him because a lot of parents are going to leave. Like, their kid's not going to be there.
No,
Mhm.
for
The
sure.
university
Especially
waited
University of Michigan.
until after. Sorry, the university actually waited until after recruitment to.
Well, you know
to
why?
fire
Because
him.
the university's
Well,
always
yeah.
going to listen.
Protect the
Right.
university.
As bad
He's a liability.
as bad as he is as being a liability, the university should be in trouble too. Because from what I heard is that they tried to cover it up until they couldn't anymore.
Mhm.
And this has always been the case with a lot of these universities and institutions. It was the same thing with your boy at Penn State, with Sandusky. It's like they let things go on until it becomes too big.
Mhm.
And then they try to, well, we're going to make an example. No,
Yeah.
they need to make an example out of Michigan as well. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't just be him.
Yeah, I just my biggest question when things like this happen is like, was it really worth it? Like, was it worth it? And the fact
No.
that you're saying it was an open secret,
Mhm.
it's like, did he think he was above? Did they think that the scenario was above, chastising?
I'm
like,
a-
it just doesn't
I'm gonna
make
shoot him
any
like
sense.
5% worth of bail. He had mental health issues, so a
He
lot
did?
of they confirmed that he had mental health issues.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a lot of this stuff can probably be thought through.
Look at
clearly.
Josh's face. Look at
Yeah.
Josh's face.
Nah, and I made
Some
fun
of
of him
this-
for jumping off a curb.
Nah, some of these things are crazy, bro.
I
With some
know.
of the things he was
That's my
doing?
point. Now,
Yeah.
I went on record of making fun of him with a butter knife.
Well,
Nah,
no,
mental
I mean,
health
listen, here's the thing. All of this is all rumors. I mean, the confirmed mental health, something that we can confirm, but how can we confirm?
Mhm.
I got
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Of course they're going to say that. He was acting crazy. Oh, he got a mental health issue.
I
It
mean,
wasn't so bad for him not to be a head coach at Michigan. He could get himself together enough to do that
I
job
would have
well.
to agree with a Tribble on that. If you went in on some interviews and you was able to get hired and get paid $6 million a year, your mental health was intact at that moment.
Yeah.
How was he as a coach? Was he a good coach?
Yeah, Michigan was
Yeah.
great.
Good.
I mean, and here's the thing. People have to learn to compartmentalize. You can be a great coach and still make poor decisions as a man.
Yeah.
You just don't want the
True.
person who's making poor decisions as a man to be coaching your son as he teaches them how to be men.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens even in society with rape culture in college.
Mm-hmm.
If a young lady goes to the coach and says, hey, I had an issue with your player, but the coach is doing the same things, he's going to find a way to cover it up. And that's why a lot of people are like, you have to hire good people in these positions who are going to be mentoring our young people. Let's be honest, college is still kids.
Mm-hmm.
You got 18 to 23-year-olds, and some of the people who are working there, I don't know how old the young lady was, but if you're a GA, you're 22.
Mm-hmm.
You're a kid as well. So we have to have people in these positions to protect our children. So I don't see no problem with him being fired. I think it's kind of, it's crazy that it even gets to this point, because I don't understand how you become a head coach and do that.
Yeah.
Facts. All that money that you were making for
All
your
that
family.
money.
How many kids? He's
Damn.
married with kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
3 kids.
And now he's on house arrest. So his wife, he got to be at home with his wife. I know she want to slap the shit out of
I
him.
feel like his wife was the one who called the cops.
Oh.
From what I read in, I think it was a New York Post article, his wife called the cops and let them know he was about to hurt himself after the side chick, that whole situation.
So now
she
here's,
knew.
and here's another thing. If he's having a psychotic break or having a mental breakdown, that's very different than him just making poor decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's and if his wife called the police, he might be having a psychotic break. But
maybe she knows a history of it.
maybe, and that's the
Possibly.
thing. That's why it's hard to have opinions about people's personal matter
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because it's like
So many variables.
I can't have an opinion about him, but I can have an opinion about that act.
Yeah.
I thought
Deplorable.
you were going to say opinion about that ass. So I was like,
No. I
Did
didn't
she
even
have
see
a
the
big
girl.
booty?
I didn't even
Yeah.
see the
Yo,
girl.
it took me a second.
Oh, you thought I was gonna say that too?
I can have
Yeah, I
opinion.
thought
nah.
you did say it, and I was like, nah, he said act. So.
Oh no, I didn't even see what the young lady looked like.
Yeah,
I don't-
just another white girl.
Oh, see, I didn't.
He got a type.
To me, it doesn't matter what she looked like. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you was married, and this is a breach of contract with the school. Like,
Yeah.
that's just the bottom line. It's a breach of contract with the school.
Yeah, and young men playing D1 football, they got a bright future ahead of them. A lot of times, you're young, the girls are throwing themselves at you. A lot of times these guys get themselves into trouble on campus.
Right.
And what they're looking for is to be validated, that men who go to the league or men who are successful don't commit to women. They treat women poorly. And
That's
I
not
think
true.
that,
That's not true.
no, I don't think it's true. I think that it is true that some of the best athletes, some of the most legendary athletes have a strong sense of commitment, not only to the sport, but to their families. If you look at
Kobe
LeBron
Bryant,
James,
yeah,
Steph
absolutely. That's why I'm saying it's not
Curry,
true.
yeah, Jordan, like all
Yeah.
of them have families. They have, little to no scandals around like cheating on their wives. So I don't think that is true. But what you're looking for is for somebody to affirm that being, doing that is okay, which that head coach is doing for you when he's cheating on his wife with somebody that's working with y'all. That's
Working with
crazy.
y'all, too. It's just
That's a
it's the
fact.
shit where you
That's a
sleep
fact.
thing
That
too.
part.
It's like, man, of all the people in the world that you wanted to have an affair with, it had to be a young lady,
A staffer.
a staffer
Also,
at the school.
that young lady could sue the school
Absolutely.
for a shit ton of money.
And
I got
why
my moment
not?
of truth.
Oh.
Don't shit where you eat.
That is a great moment of truth.
Absolutely.
Because that was me and Brian's number one thing. Brian was single at the time. Kadeen and I were married, but we were training hundreds of kids, and there was hundreds of parents, hundreds of schools we were working with, and we was like, yo, anybody within the business, we can't do that. Because this is what happens when you intermingle business with pleasure,
Yeah.
then it becomes a what's fair type thing. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
That's right.
Just avoid that. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
That's my op. My op is, yo, if you working, just leave it alone. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care how handsome he is.
It ain't worth
Leave
it.
it alone.
Second topic, this doesn't really have to do anything to do with what we're talking about today, but I think you all will be interested in it because it affects you directly. So recently, U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno from Ohio, he's a Republican, he introduced a bill that would ban dual citizenship in the United States.
What?
Yeah, and ironically enough, Bernie Moreno was born in Colombia.
Bernie. Oh, so Bernie, one of them who don't think he.
He
one of
think
them.
he white, yeah.
Right.
But he thinks that, having dual citizenship would present a conflict of interest and divide loyalties for U.S. citizens, which is insane. So if this bill passes, U.S. citizens who voluntarily acquire foreign citizenship will relinquish their U.S. citizenship, and U.S. citizens who already have dual citizenship will have 1 year to write a letter renouncing their dual citizenship before their
Bernie, where did Bernie
citizenship.
come from?
Yeah.
Handle
We
like that.
found out.
Sir.
He's not even from America.
Hey,
Yeah.
clearly, exactly.
Yeah.
I know black. I know black.
Here's my op.
I'm going to be honest,
Bernie.
bro.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Here's just my op as a dual citizen of Jamaica.
Tell him.
Suck out your mother.
Yeah, I knew
Suck
it.
out your mother, sir.
Yeah.
Yo.
Respectfully.
Another
Suck out
big
your mother.
problem with
My
this.
I agree with my
wife.
Period.
Thank you, Kid. That's my
I
op.
agree with my wife.
Yeah, absolutely. Another
another
big
dual
problem
citizen.
with this, my op, is that the 14th Amendment currently protects U.S. citizens from having their citizenship forcefully
Revoked.
revoked.
Thank you.
Exactly. So it's like, where are you coming from out of nowhere just trying to stir the pot, my nigga? Leave it alone.
You're doing the most.
he
And
Leave it
let's
alone.
let's search into his citizenship. Like, no shade.
Right.
You and all your people.
No shade.
Sir.
But
know,
yeah.
I'll say this. In the past couple months, I've watched how they've changed laws. They've changed history. They've removed things from the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And once again, it's the whitewashing of everything that we've done. It's happening again. At 50 to 60 years ago, 50 or 60 years from now, the young people are going to be like, hey, do you remember this? And we're going to be those people that say we lived it. And it did not go like that.
Yeah.
I hope everybody here at home is watching we will be the same old people like the old people in Tulsa saying it didn't go down how they said it went down in them history books.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
seeing
facts.
it. Everything
Yeah.
that they're trying to change is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy. Fight
Yeah.
for yours. Fight for your truth. Everybody at home, fight for your truth.
Helping Jackson study for a civics exam. And I'm looking at all these laws and amendments and this and that. And I'm just like, what a bunch of shit right now, because they're literally trying to reverse and overthrow everything that he's learning anyway. It's like, does it even hold any value
No.
to learn these things now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a small example of how this is done in a micro level. Last year, we took a trio of second graders who never really played flag football together to go play in a different neighborhood. Of course, we're the predominantly black team. It's second and third grade. Beginning of the season, we were struggling because we were learning. Nobody cared that we were together. But by the end of the season, we start smoking people, right? We win the whole thing. We go back to play this year, same group. They changed the rules. Now you can no longer carpool. You have to have a draft. And then coaches started picking our kids. Somehow, at the end of the draft, though, the same team that wanted to be together from their group was still together. But all of our kids were on different teams. Am I lying?
Nope.
That literally happened.
That's crazy.
And it's just, to me, that's a microcosm of what happens
yeah.
in America.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait a minute. They all got together. We don't care. Look at it. They're young. Wait a minute. They actually good. Wait a minute. They beat us. Let's find a way to not let this happen again. As a matter of fact, I need one of those kids on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Cairo said he didn't want to play no more.
Yeah, Cairo was like,
Cairo said,
this.
fuck that.
I can't play with my friends.
Yeah.
And then now, fast forward to the Winter League, and Devale literally got into it with the ref. Shout out to the
Game
ref,
one.
Who's actually a fan too. I'm just like, she'd be like, wait a second. Is that Zach? Yeah, Zach is cursing your ass.
Crash out, Zach.
Sis.
Game
And holding
one.
you accountable, sis.
Game one. Go.
Because there was a coach who was on the opposing team. And anytime something happened with the play, he was the one dictating where the ball should be. And Devale was like, my nigga, are you a coach or are you a ref? Because if you want to be a ref, you should have a striped shirt on. You should be assisting homegirl. How is it that you're listening? So then his question to the ref is, how is it that you're allowing this coach on one team to dictate to you where the ball stops and goes? Are you not the ref for a reason?
Yeah.
Ref
And that's
back on
another,
that.
that's another microcosm of the thing, because the ref is a woman, you know what I'm saying? And he thinks, well, I can just tell her what to do.
Absolutely.
Didn't our head coach is a woman.
And she was a sister. I think you're going to allow this dude across
Our
the
head
field
coach
to
was a
tell you what
woman.
to do?
And the ref was a woman. So he was just like, no, this supposed to be here. No, this. And I said, yo, like, are you going to ref or you going to coach? Like, you don't get to dictate all the rules to both teams. And then the families on the other side was like, it's just rec. It's just rec. It's always just rec.
Yeah.
When y'all
That's
start
what I,
losing.
Right.
That's the part that burns me.
That burns me, bro.
Because that's the
Don't
only scenario I
downplay
can see
it.
that makes sense, where they're just like, yeah, let's just the kids just have fun. But you're dictating it for all the plays.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I look
That's
like
it.
the bad guy, but I'm going to tell y'all, I don't care.
Baby, we stand to being a
I
bad
call
guy.
it. I call it. Just
We
how I
stand
see
to
it. I
being
said, that's
that.
not fair. And everybody wants to get up in arms. I'm not going to let my kids, because you got to see our kids, too. When things like that are happening, the kids start to get down.
It fucks with the morale of
Yeah.
the whole team.
And then the other kids start yelling at the ref as well. And I'm like, so now you're listening to the other coach and those kids, because our kids are just better. And the minute I started pointing it out and the other coach stopped, touchdown, 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 touchdown. It's like, yo, you can't prevent the fact that our kids work. And it's funny, we talking about work ethic and becoming a
And
master.
working on your craft, honey.
It's not, ethnicity doesn't get you to be great.
Yeah.
No.
I'm the dad that works out with my kids 20 to 30 minutes every day. So yes, when we go to games, it's not just rec. We are working on being great. It may just be rec to you, but this little 30 minutes they get a chance to play, let's work on the things we worked on. We're not just going out to be mediocre.
Right.
You know, and parents get upset when you enter into a arena where their kids are and you expect excellence from your kids. They can scream at their kids all day, but the minute we start, it's almost like it's a problem. It'd be annoying, y'all. I'm telling y'all something.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
If
And-
anybody ever, just to put it out there, and cross paths with us, when our boys are playing, whether it's basketball, football, we them parents, we're loud. We're going to call people out. We're going to call the refs out. We're going to call the other team out. We're going to do that because we don't take nonsense over here. We just don't. So you're going to probably see a very different Devale and Kadeen if you
And
ever
Matt.
encounter. And Matt.
Matt got
last
into it with the
night.
security guard last night at
night.
Jackson game.
Damn, not
literally the
security.
same thing.
Same thing.
No,
Yeah.
it was the same thing.
Literally.
Okay, Rollins is tall. right? So you know how it is with refs. Like, he the tallest. I'm not going to let that team just smack this team. We going to let it be a little bit even. So we not
6,
calling no
7-ish.
foul. Yeah, 6, 7.
Yeah.
We're not going to call no fouls
8, 9.
for the bigger team. We cool with that. We don't mind that. If y'all going to play physical, we going to play physical back.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is when we start to play physical back, now the parents are upset.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say nothing when y'all was beating on Rollins. Jackson got tripped 4 times, got pushed in the back. We said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now Rollins is like, yo, I ain't no punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. And then the security guard tried to say something to us afterwards. And then Matt, he came over with an energy
Yeah.
that he's in, we live in a different environment now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he expected the energy that he was going to get from Matt. So
he was on some New York Times. He kept repeating something while walking direct.
You black?
Yes.
He walking at me. He kept saying, "What you mean? Don't do what? Don't do what? Don't do what?" And kept walking right towards me.
And Matt walked
Where we
right
from?
What
you
does
don't do
that
that.
mean?
Matt walked right towards him.
Right.
Thank you. So I walked
he
straight
thought you was
to
going
him.
back down.
Correct.
Yes.
I walked straight to him. And I
Yes.
repeated what I said.
He walked straight to him and said,
It's
I
not
told
what you think, bro.
don't do that. Don't do that. Because, and then he started to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
Then he was trying to be more docile because he expected Matt.
Yeah.
But that's what they always do to us. They did that to Jay all last year. Our kids started winning, and they expected him to back down. And Jay from New York, too, he like, I ain't backing down to nobody. I don't give a fuck about this school. And then they get mad. But it's like, you can't. Last year, a coach pulled a gun out on Jay.
What?
Shut
No lie.
up.
Walked him to
Seriously.
the parking lot. No lie. Dead serious. Walked him to the parking lot. Our kids were our kids were winning by 20 points. He took all of the big kids out and let kids who hadn't played before play. So the kids who hadn't played before, they're nervous because they're going against the other team's starting 5. He tells the kid on our team, Jay, like, yo, don't hesitate. Go make the layup. You can make it. Like, you haven't scored. Don't you want to score? The kid's looking a little down. He's like, yo, go get it. So the kid gets a breakaway layup, and he goes up 1-2 and makes the layup. First time he scored playing basketball. Jay is excited for the kid. Like, Jay is young white kid.
Yeah.
Just like, let's go. The coach gets upset. He's like, why are you showing up my players?
What?
This has nothing to do with your team. This is a young man who's never scored in a basketball game before, and I'm excited for him. And then he was like, you trying to show up my team? And then his team wouldn't shake Jay's hand. So Jay was like, oh, coach, make sure you teach your kids how to have good sportsmanship. And then he followed Jay out into the parking lot.
That's
And
crazy.
brandished the gun in front of Jay.
That is
And
nuts.
then the crazy part is Jay gets a phone call about his behavior afterwards.
No way.
Yeah, that's why I always got to stand up. Because I'm not going to let you do that
No.
to him. So now, all the other parents was like, yo, this is exactly what happened. And some changes need to be made because we're not backing down from this.
Yeah.
But these are things we always got to face.
Yeah. That's
Always.
insane.
Mediocrity. They don't know what work is.
Nope.
In fact.
That's right.
Bleeds into everything.
It sure does. It sure does. All right, y'all. Let's take a little break so we can cool off over here. You know what I'm saying? Shit. All right, we'll be back. Talking about working on our craft.
Who are
okay?
you in 2026, K?
Over here brandishing my
I know
my
this is
pad.
different. This is a different version.
Shit.
It's not bad.
You know, it's the Bob, honey. It's the Bob. Hey.
It is the Bob.
Yeah.
Josh, how we doing on time? Come on. Kay, come on. Like, you taking that long.
I'm ready. I just checked my
You're not ready if you're not here.
Any flyaways?
Yes, you're ready.
Okay. You like the straight hair?
I love the show.
Thank you. Okay, beard in.
All of
Line up sharp. You look great. Oh, let me put your chain. Okay. Perfect.
My bad, Josh.
Yep. All right. Ready?
You good?
Camera guys. Smiling.
Okay, what we got to do?
You did it.
What?
You did it. Perfect.
We already did it. All right. That's a wrap then.
All right, and we're back. So, steps that we take to get to become an expert at the craft that you've chosen. Well, first of all, do you guys feel like your craft chose you, or did you choose your craft?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think it was a little bit of both. For me, I was hosting bar trivia in Chicago, and people would come up to me all the time and be like, oh, you have a great voice. You should be on the radio. And at this time, I was working in sales. I wasn't good at it. I hated it. And I really wanted to switch industries, but I didn't know really what I wanted to do. And I had always been a performer. I'm a good talker. So when people would say that, I'd be like, oh, okay, radio does sound like something I would enjoy doing. But then when I realized that in order to be a radio host, be hired as a radio host, you needed a lot of experience. That's when I was like, okay, well, I'll do a podcast. And then as I was learning how to make a podcast and just learning about podcasts in general, then I realized, oh, podcast producer is a job that I could do. So I feel like me trying to develop my skills, what I call identity capital, kind of led me into the direction of podcast production because what I was trying to do was build my resume in order to be a radio host. So I made my own podcast so that I could start to get more experience as a host and produced it so I can have more experience as a producer, so I can know how to record and edit, because those are all the skills you need to be on the radio. But because I had those skills, I could transfer them to another job, which was podcast producer. So it was kind of a mixture of both things. I think that some of my natural ability led me to becoming interested in radio production and broadcasting and audio production. But the skills that I developed while trying to get there led me into podcast production. That makes sense.
That's actually a great breakdown, because you kept saying skills and talent, and you asked a perfect question about what chose which. I think it starts with understanding what your gifts are, right? For example, I'll make it very, very clear. You 7 foot. That's a gift. Everybody's not 7 foot. So you may lean towards basketball, right? Oppositely, you're 4'10". Gymnasts, you know, not everybody's that small. You have a lower center of gravity, balance is easier. I think the gifts that God gives us also often leads us towards an occupation or something we can do to make money, right? But there's a skill that is necessary in whatever it is occupation, and that's where you get talent. Talent is a mix between gift and skill. And the only way you become skillful is if you repeat that thing over and over again. I think it's important for people to understand why repetition is important, not only in athletics, but also in TV, film, also as radio, also in photography, is because when you repeat something over and over and over again, it takes 1,000 muscle movements to become muscle memory. Now that movement becomes muscle memory. It's locked into your body. Your central nervous system, even when it's not performing, can still do the skill effectively because you've done it so many times.
It's like you can just drop into it. It becomes like an autopilot.
That's how you become a master.
Like an autopilot,
You become a master when you don't have to think. You can close your eyes and your body will do the movement, or your mind will do the movement, because you've done it so many times. That's why I said it takes 10 years to become an overnight celebrity. Most people see when someone finally gets it, but you didn't see the 10,000 of hours that were put into that expert effort to try to get to that point. So I think good, perfect question.
Sorry to cut you, but what you were describing, it sounds like a flow state. Like you're just reacting. You're just going with whatever's coming to you and going off of that.
And the thing is, people always attribute flow state to sports, but it really goes with everything.
Yeah.
Like if you're an actor, right, and you've practiced these lines and you understand the character and you know who the character is, your central nervous system becomes the character. So now when someone says a line, you don't respond as yourself being Devale acting as Zach. You respond as Zach.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the same flow state. It's probably the same thing. I watch y'all work all the time. And I watch y'all sometimes and I'm like, okay, what are they looking at? And I watch Josh look at the lighting, and then Matt will say something like, go to the 55. And then Josh will be like, got it. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He didn't say
it's like
smile.
a superpower.
No, seriously. It's almost like when y'all be filming, it'd be like a flow state. Because I'd be like,
nah,
hey, what they
when I'm
doing,
filming,
bro?
it's definitely flow state.
Y'all got, I wish I
100%.
could film y'all working. Because most people wouldn't even understand, like, they don't even say stuff. It'd be like, hold on, clean this. No, get the 55. No, 75. 100, and then,
That's that wedding photography too.
And I'll be like,
you just got to react. You don't got time.
How
time
many-
you take to think.
You miss a moment.
You're gonna
It's
miss
so
something.
funny
You
that
miss
we're
a
talking
moment.
about this. So last week I did a workshop at the camera store in New York, B&H. It's my first time actually doing like this live like workshop where it's just like me, all eyes are on me.
Congrats.
And I did that in front of people. And thank you. And I was speaking to Anika afterwards. I'm like, yo, I don't even, like, I'm doing this thing and I'm not even shooting for real. I was like, Anika, I'm not trying to shoot. And I'm saying I'm doing a disservice to myself because the pictures that I end up with after don't look as good as they could. But when you look at them, no one can tell.
Yeah.
Is that why you tend to overthink a lot? Because I feel like you get like that sometimes.
No,
Like,
I don't think I'm overthinking
better.
at all. I'm thinking I know, like, the way I'm holding my camera. Like you talked about in uncomfortable ways you're doing it. I'm trying not to block like the class. There's a camera, there's a TV. Like I'm trying to shoot it in a way, but I'm not shooting it well, but it's still done well. Which is crazy to me because I never felt like that until I'm like realizing I'm like, I didn't shoot it good enough. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And Nigga's like, you did fine.
You think about it after the fact, like what I could have done differently. Yeah, but in the moment it worked.
Yeah, but that goes back to the point where like the 10,000 hours of doing something and repetition sort of like molds you for like whatever comes about. Like I can do it in front of 1,000 people if I want to. I can do it in front of 10,000 people. I might feel nervous, but the shooting part,
it becomes second nature.
It is like,
bro. I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things that Triple put down here was talking about fear of failure while trying to become an expert and being afraid to not be perfect or be the expert so you don't do it. Yeah. Rather than just keep failing over and over again until you become the expert. During that time where I was trying to catch punts, I dropped so many punts until a point where the ball would just be in the air and I would just put my arm out and it would just, like from the minute it comes off the foot, boom. I've done this so many times. I can tell off the foot. I could hear the sound. I could see the wind. I know, let me stand right here and it drops. Like you have to fail over and over and over and over again to become an expert. And then once you become an expert, you become so good at it, you'll know when it's wrong before you just said, Josh, before it even happens, you like, these pictures ain't gonna look good.
Yeah.
Because you're feeling like the finger. I've watched you, Josh. Remember when we did Kaz's announcement?
Yes.
And you had the stomach and we were in the street with the balloons?
Yes. The bump.
And the bump. We're on the bump.
Yes.
Josh, I know this is the time where I was just like, this nigga Josh really nice. We had Cairo, we had Jackson. We were on the street where there was cars coming in. There was light coming in. Balloon. Every balloon had to turn the certain way to say 3 because we were saying it was going to be Ellis of 3. Josh was just like, oh shoot, it's overcast. Move right there, stay. So I'm like this, right? I'm like, yo, all right, everybody look, turn to Josh and say cheese. Josh walking away. I said, what happened? We missed it? He said, I got it. Do you remember that?
I don't. I probably had baby brain, but yeah,
I said,
for sure it happened.
I said, there's no way with all of the things going on that he got the picture.
Elements.
We gonna put in this episode that picture, and you gonna say that's AI. Because there's no way all the elements, the overshadow, the trees, we were on the street bump, there was no traffic. It was like, you have to do things thousands of times and fail before you do that. Because you remember the days, Josh, where it was me, Kay, Cairo, Jackson, and I'd be like, everybody sit still. Everybody. And it was just like, nah, we ain't get it. It takes time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's shit, because at that point, it saves you money, too. Because time is very much money.
Stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready.
Hell yeah. And
can you say that again?
Confident. What's that?
So that people can understand why masters get paid.
Oh, right, exactly. Time is money.
Time is money.
You're paying people for the efficiency of what they do, so we're not sitting all day and experimenting.
And people want to get paid as masters and don't put the work in to become a master. And then when you see what I'm saying? You show up somewhere and it's like, okay, I paid you to do this and now it's taking you time. They're like,
very important.
I ain't get my money's worth.
The problem is there's a low bar entry for everything. Right? So when you do that, you can just come and demand this price without having any past or history.
And people
to do
undercutting the market as well, too. I used to experience this as a makeup artist as well. You know, having experience and developing a certain level of clientele and knowing your work and knowing the speed at which you work and how efficient you can be to be able to bang out a wedding of, 8 to 10 faces in a certain amount of time. That's a certain skill set that's required for it. But then you have walks, brand new makeup artist or someone who's in training who walks in with a box and is like, hey, I'm here to do makeup, and they want to charge $50 a face. You can no longer charge what you wanted to charge, whether it was $150 a face or $125 a face, because here's someone else that's doing it for $50. Now, granted,
I'm about to say,
your face may look like a $50 face.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, which I know is super frustrating for y'all as photographers when you have a really bad makeup job. But that was an issue I used to run into back in the day. And I even still see it now. Now that as a talent, I'm working with other makeup artists. It's like certain artists who are charging a premium. It's like, man, I can't even justify paying this to you anymore when there's someone else who's equally as talented that's half the price.
Yeah.
This also goes back to what we talked about, doing stuff for free. Why do you do stuff for free? To get reps. You know, there's no longer that internship period for people. A lot of people just want to get paid immediately. I watched the YouTube video. I know how to do this. You may know how to do it, but you're not a master at it yet.
Correct.
Which means it's going to take you more time than a master would, which means you're going to get paid less.
Right.
People don't understand that. And I think that once they start to understand that it takes a long time to become a master, they'll realize that I can't rush this aspect of my career.
Yeah.
You know?
And that goes back to Kay's original question where she asked, do you choose your craft, or does your craft choose you? I think it is a little bit of both, but more than anything is you got to choose it.
Yeah.
You can't be a master of something by accident. That's
Facts.
just not going to happen. You got to choose to, like, you know, like when it feels like you're not where you want to be or where you see other people are, you still got to be diligent in that. And I think that dedication to do that and that will to see a future that isn't there yet means that you absolutely have to choose it.
I'll agree with that because you have to love it to do it for thousands of hours and not get paid to become a master. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like even with the kids with sports.
Right.
I tell them all the time, I'm not going to pick your sport because I'm not going to be the dad that's going to tell you have to train. I want you to be the kid that loves it so much that you're training and that's how you become a master. So you really do have to choose it.
I love it. Sorry,
or
y'all.
your dad could be like Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
True.
And you become the greatest of all time.
True. Your dad
Yeah.
could be like Joe Jackson and you could be great.
Bring
But
back-
I think
bring
the
back the
Jacksons
Joe
wanted
Jackson.
to though.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to.
it.
It's just a vehicle to get to be the greatest.
Bring back the Joe Jacksons of the world.
No.
I'm joking.
No, seriously.
It is but is it the profile of Joe Jackson, not the action? The profile is a dad that's driven to see who sees greatness in his sons and is going to push them to get there. I think that profile.
But seriously, before we low-key demonize Joe Jackson, none of his kids ever complained about him.
True.
Nah, it didn't. This is all entertainment.
The world complained
Yeah.
about what he did. His kids, Michael and Janet, became the two greatest entertainers ever. The rest of his kids made hundreds of millions of dollars as well. His family's taken care of. Look at Serena Williams, King Richard. They demonized that man. Look at LeVar Ball. They demonized him.
Yeah.
None of his kids complained about him. I'm noticing a trend that if you're a black father in your kid's life, people don't want you around.
Super invested.
Because you know why? They can't
They won't push that
manipulate you
narrative.
and extort you for your gifts. Your father not going to have it. That's what I see. So I'm
I
not
agree.
going to demonize any of them black men for doing what they did.
You
in
know who's
Clinton.
in the running for
Same
that?
thing with Beyonce and
Yeah.
you
I
call me
see
Joe
it.
Jackson, I'll receive it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna make 4 Ellis boys
But
that's gonna be great at
seriously,
whatever they
they're
want
gonna
to
be
do.
great at whatever, and that's not a knock. That's actually me giving you your flowers because I
Yeah.
think it's important and it's necessary. We were just talking last night about the balance between doing that, right? The balance between discipline when it comes
This
to
is
like
a good conversation because
with
we had this
Jackson.
conversation last night.
Yeah, there's like the balance between what that discipline looks like because Devale understands what it takes. So it's balancing the kids knowing what's required of them and making it like second nature where they're just like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
This is not just me trying to attain something. This is just a way of life. Being a
Yes.
great athlete, being
Yeah.
a good student.
Yes.
This is what life requires to be great at anything.
Last night, I'll give you an example. Just so y'all know, and I'll tell y'all too, Kay blood pressure went up because she found out she's going back to film. we already got 8,000 things going on. Everyone here with Pops,
Yeah.
me filming, the kids got a bunch of stuff
It was
going on.
mad
It's just been a
stuff
lot.
happening.
So Kay blood
Yeah.
pressure up last night. She goes get in the bath. I get in the bath with her, and I'm like, "Yo, let's just talk. How you feeling? Like, what's going on?" So we're talking, and then it came to me, and I was like, "Yo, I can be honest, right?" I said, "I'm a lot to deal with, ain't I? Like for you, ain't I a lot to deal with?" And she was like, I said, "This is the moment where you have to be honest about how you feel. Like we're in the bath, your blood pressure is high. We can't bullshit each other." She was like, "Yeah, Devale you a lot." And I was just now with Jackson and the hair thing, right? She was like, "Yeah, I didn't understand what that was about." So I said, "So let me explain." I said, "Jackson played yesterday, 25, 5, and 8, only 3 turnovers, played really well. But he lifts after the game because then this next game is 5 days away. So as soon as we get in the driveway, I'm like, yo, you got to lift today to be ready for Friday." Kay goes, "Don't you have a test tomorrow?" I say, "Jax, if you have a test, you know school got to come first." He's like, "Yeah, I do got a test tomorrow. I want to study. Can we lift tomorrow?" I say, "Cool." All right. I said, the lift was only going to be 20, 25 minutes. So we go inside. An hour goes by. I come back upstairs. He still hasn't started his work. He's eating, but he got his hair done like he was doing his hair. And I say, "Yo, Jack, you got to understand when you tell me that you can't work out because you have to study, and I come upstairs an hour later and you were doing your hair, if I'm a coach, what does that say? That means that you were trying to get out of doing the work because you wanted to do something else. He was like, I didn't see it that way. I said, I know you didn't, but I'm trying to explain to you. If I'm a coach and you tell me you can't make it to lifting because you got study hall, and then I'm done with the lift and I see you in the hallway with some girls and you getting your hair braided, what's the coach going to think? He's like, I didn't think about that. And I was like, Mom, I'm telling you too. So as soon as I leave, Kay says to Jax, man, my bad, Jack, I got you in trouble. And Jack says to Kay, I got you in trouble. I said, Kay, even that verbiage of it being trouble, where was the trouble? There was no trouble. Yeah, I was firm and I was stern in what I was saying, but I didn't follow that up with, now you owe me 500 burpees, or Kay, let me talk to you later. I was just trying to explain something, and then I walked away. There was no trouble afterwards. And Kay was like, I never thought about it like that. They just both felt like they were in trouble. And I said, sometimes as a man, I can be stern and firm with my son when I'm trying to teach them a lesson, and there's no trouble after it. It's just you got to understand that. But even both of them in that time were kind of taken back. And I explained to Kay, you were taken back because your dad isn't firm like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I never grew up with a firm. Like, my mom was very firm, yes.
Your mom is me.
Yes.
And the crazy thing is, her mom is disciplined. They called her a stage mom. And I'm like, just because you want to be firm and disciplined with your kids and you require that their standard is high, doesn't mean you're a bad parent.
Right.
Now, other people outside may see your tone and may see like, wow, that's a lot. Because even my wife thought my tone was a lot. But then I had to explain to her, like, there were no consequences afterwards. I can explain something to you and walk away. And she explained that oftentimes they feel like they're going to be in trouble or I'm going to be upset. And I'm like, you know what? Even as a dad, I have to realize that I can, when I'm stern and firm, let me give them closure so there's no trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
and
you
that's
do a
what I
good
learned
job
in
of that. Yeah, because Devale will be very, very stern. You know, he'll tell him exactly how he feels about it, but then coats it with I'm proud of you or with the love. So with the boys, it's never like, damn, I just can't stand this nigga. Here you go again. They may have a moment where they, you know, I see
Except
Jackson be like,
Coda.
okay, here he goes.
Dakota can't stand me. Like, Dakota cannot stand me.
That's a fact. Right now,
Touche.
At 4, I'm his arch nemesis.
Touche. Yeah, but for the most part, like, it's great that you're able to have that duality where they're like, they super respect dad. They know what's required, but they also know, like, dad loves me so much. Like, I just want to be around him all the time, you know?
I hope so. Cause
think about it. You and Jackson have gotten into the, you know, moments where you've let him have it about certain things. Y'all talk things out, and then he'll come down and he'll sit next to you and he'll be like, so we good, Dad? Are we good?
And I'm always like, why would we not good? And I never understood why he would even feel to ask me until last night when Kay was just like, damn, we thought we was in trouble. And I'm like, okay, so my intent is not landing with the impact that I think is having. And I also, watching LeVar Ball, watching all of those guys that came before me, seeing like, I don't want to be a villain to the point where it detracts from my kids' greatness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at some point it becomes a thing where now it's about you, Dad, and it ain't about the kids. I got 4 black boys. They will not be allowed to be mediocre in the world. It doesn't matter who their mom and dad is,
right?
How much money they've made. You cannot be mediocre, and I just fear that. And sometimes I probably can be over the top because that's the only way I knew how to be. Like, I'm just like this all the time.
Yeah, but I think that when they're older and they have to do things on their own, they'll think back to these lessons that they learned and these things that they had to do and realize that it was great for their development as people. Because I think that some parents are just hard on their kids for no fucking reason. Like, eat all your food, or like, you know what I'm saying? Stop yelling, or stupid shit. Like,
or they're hard on their kids and they've never been that.
Yeah.
You know, think about the even some of the dads we see who are coaches and they're just so like, you know, dead set, gung-ho on certain things. And it's like, my God, you probably never played ball ever in life. And then you have these standards for your children that you can't even like be an example to. You can't even give an experience that you've had in it. It's just, and I mean, I understand the opposite. The opposite may be, I never attained all these things. So I want my children to be able to have these opportunities. And I want them to be great because I didn't have the opportunity to be great. But there also has to be a balance.
Yeah.
And you got to do it with them though. Like, that's why I work out every day. I can't tell my kids, you got to give me 30 minutes of training every day and I don't work out because they can never say to me that he don't even do this. Nah, you see me sprint and run and throw this thing. I be throwing that medicine ball for no reason. I don't got to do no medicine ball tosses, but I just want them to see like I'm doing it.
Right.
You know, and you do the same thing.
Yeah.
You work out in there so they can't say, oh, my mom don't work out.
Right.
You know, I do think it is important too for parents. If they're going to be on their kids, show them what discipline looks like.
Yeah, or do it together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Trying to just see if we covered all the boxes. Yeah, I think we can take a break. Everybody good? All right. Let's wrap it up here. This portion of the show, we're going to take a quick break and we will be back with our listener letter of the day. So stick around, y'all.
Hey, y'all, guess what? We wrote a book. We Over Me.
That's right. Available in hard copy, ebooks, and audiobooks. Wherever books are sold.
You see me struggling with the book. You just gonna keep
I don't see anything. I'm doing my part. You do your
Devale,
part.
why the book wants? It's always now. It always stands up for me. There we go.
That's right. It always stands up for you, baby. We gotta start over, Josh.
Got it.
It's a hard copy. Hard copy.
All right, we're back. I'm going to jump in. Hi, Kadeem, Val, Trib, Matt, and Josh. I'm a 31-year-old masculine presenting woman. I've been out since I was 18, but have known I was gay since I could walk. I always say I came out of the womb with a do-rag and Tim's on.
From New York.
Love that.
Definitely New York.
The issue I'm having is with my parents. We go back and forth for years about my sexuality. They've said some harsh things pertaining to me about my sexuality and justifies it as their quote unquote religious beliefs. If they didn't say it to me directly, it was directed towards something LGBT. They have compared their love for me as a gay woman as a parent who still loves their child that has committed murder. Okay. Apples to oranges, and quite frankly, insulting to me. I've tried to explain that when they make those comments towards LGBT, they are in fact also speaking about me. They tell me that they aren't and that I'm basically the quote unquote exception. I don't agree with that because it shows that they still feel some type of way about it all. I don't think that separate but equal mentality works in any form of discrimination. After 10 plus years of trying to keep it all together for family's sake and take the slights and comments, I have had enough, especially when I have a sibling who is straight and gets treated differently than I. I've decided to go low contact to protect myself, as this was really weighing on my mental. I've been suicidal throughout the past because of this. I'm supposed to just be okay with it because they don't accept the homosexuality. They don't accept that homosexuality is real, that they accept me. I don't feel accepted, but more so tolerated because I'm their daughter. Now I'm getting blamed for the fact that I don't have that. Now I'm getting blamed for the fact that I've distanced myself and they won't understand why I can't separate the two when they can. The cognitive dissonance is so strong. This is also the energy I don't want to bring my partner into because that undertone of quote unquote, my religious beliefs is still very much alive, even if I'm allowed to bring someone around. However, the only reason I was bringing partners around was because I thought they had changed their beliefs and was fully accepting of LGBT. I tried to explain it in terms of racism, and they basically said that while they don't agree with racism, that would be that person's belief. What the fuck? That's what she said. And you wouldn't want to keep associating yourself with the racist, even if you were the exception, right? It's almost like they refuse to see it that way, and I'm not sure why. It's as if they have one foot in and the other out. I think when it comes to topics of this kind, it's hard to remain neutral. They aren't overly homophobic, but the microaggressions and undertones of, quote, I wish you were different, end quote, are getting old. Family is very important to me, but it's becoming increasingly evident that if I'm going to build my own family, I'm going to have to distance myself from my parents. How do I get my parents to understand that their beliefs and comments hurt me and their quote, acceptance of me gets undermined by those comments? By the way, I've been listening to your podcast for years and purchased your book, We Over Me, the hard copy, so I could be eligible for bestseller. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, it was a great read and I look forward to more in the future. Love you guys. Keep grinding and striving. It's only up from here. Oh, thank you so much for that.
This is my biggest thing is these are two different ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you're a person of the LGBT community and you feel like a Christian, for example, is using the Bible to go against you, a Christian will then say you're losing your lifestyle against me. I understand where her mom's coming from is like, you can't convince someone else to believe something different.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm her, sometimes distance is important.
Mm-hmm.
If someone doesn't respect who you are, you can't make them respect who you are. And it's not their responsibility to change their beliefs because you are different than what they wanted. And it's not your responsibility to change who you are to fit their beliefs. Like that, to me, that's what's going on with social media. We want to make everyone else believe what we believe.
Right.
And that's never going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot convince me that someone being in the LGBTQ community is wrong. You can't convince me that someone being a Christian is wrong. But what you can say is, hey, your lifestyle is different from mine.
Right.
Let's try to have
That's
empathy
okay.
for each other, and let's grow together and see how we can exist and coexist together. You're never going to convince everybody else. And that goes for both sides.
Yeah.
The Bible boppers are not going to convince the LGBTQ community, and the LGBTQ community is never going to convince the Bible boppers. And why do we have to? I just really don't understand that.
Yeah. I think it's the relationship thing here. You know, I said recently, just because somebody is family because of their family tree does not mean that it's even somebody you would want to associate with. Like, there are people that we've spoken about that are family members that it's just like, man, like, we don't even think the same. We don't enjoy the same things. Our ideologies are so different. And it's just like, you essentially, when you break it down, we're all just human beings.
Yes.
So you may have to distance yourself from your parents, as hurtful as that's going to be for you. And I'm sure it will be for them, to protect your peace, to be who you are. Like, who wants to live in this world trying to conform to what somebody else wants you to be?
I don't.
Like,
I don't.
this life is way too short. I've known it, especially in the past couple months. Like, I'm going to live for me. I'm going to live for the people who rock with me, who roll with me, who I love. You can love your parents still, but you don't necessarily have to be up under them. If you're a grown ass, woman at this point.
I agree.
Yeah, I have this problem with my mother, who is religious and doesn't believe that, being gay is, right necessarily. She is accepting of me, but sometimes she'll say little shit like, recently she was like, I was praying about it, and I think God
Triple's funny
said, you're not as successful as you could be, because basically I keep talking about being gay. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go. Thanks. Like,
I was about to say, like, how do you even respond to that?
Yeah.
Like, because there's no proof
No,
that you
you
can
don't.
prove that, Ma. How do you want me to argue with you about that?
Right.
Yeah.
But wait,
I don't give it any energy.
you
And
can't. Yeah,
no,
you literally can't.
That's the answer. You can't.
Yeah, I
Because
don't give it any energy.
what are you going to respond? And then
Yeah.
it's like, when you then walk away, does that make her feel better? Like, damn, I just literally drove my child away.
No, she felt bad. She felt me get like silent. I didn't say anything back to her. And then she tried to clean it up a little bit, because she knows that it's hurtful. Like, your parents know that what they're saying to you is
That's
hurting
hurtful,
you.
yeah.
For sure.
But their goal is to try to change your mind, to make you want to please them instead of living your own life. And you can't do that. So distance is important. And I feel like it's about the capacity that you have to deal with your parents' beliefs being different than yours, because life's going to go on. You may want to get married. You may want to have kids. And they might have something to say about that. They might, not feel okay about you raising a child with another woman. They're going to have something to say about that. So it really depends on what your capacity is.
Yep.
If you have no capacity for it, don't talk to them. If they love you like they claim they do, they'll come around and they'll try to be more respectful of your life, because that's what it boils down to. Whether they believe it's right or not, it doesn't matter. It's not their life to live. It's yours. And they should love you the way that a parent loves their child, not with conditions. You know what I'm saying? So fuck them. Hey, fuck them.
No, I agree with that. I also
Yeah.
agree, though, that it has to go both ways, though. Like, because you're a child and say you have a different alternative lifestyle, now you want your parents to change their beliefs for their whole life because you changed the lifestyle. You can't do that either.
Yeah.
Like, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
We just have to have more empathy for each other. You're an individual. You have individual thoughts and beliefs. As long as your individual thoughts and beliefs aren't directly bringing harm to me, I have no problem with what you're doing. And if you're not harming kids, you're not harming elderly people, disabled people, you're not stealing from people, you live a different alternative lifestyle on your personal time, your belief system is this, Christian, Muslim, Judaic. What does that have to do with me? And I think more people have to start realizing that in this world. It's not your job to convince people.
For people who are homophobic, anti-LGBT, that can be harmful to people. If you vote based on your beliefs and you vote for anti-LGBT laws to be enacted, or even if you're just like fucking with your child's mind. People put their kids out for being gay. They become homeless. Like, so that can be harmful for you to not let somebody live the way they want to live and love them, you know, even regardless. You don't have to be gay yourself. Nobody's asking you to eat pussy, mom. You know what I'm saying? We just let me live my life. And I think love makes everyone better. Like, I can be a better person through love than I can be through hate. So I feel like hating somebody because they're gay is really causing more harm. Whereas me being gay is really not doing nothing to
and I
nobody.
think as a parent, when I look at it, if I'm trying to like think of it from a parent perspective, or what her parents may be thinking, it's like you probably have an idea or a mindset, or I guess more so what you foresee for your child's life. And if your child is moving in a way that's not in accordance with that, then the parents probably reflect and be like, well, damn, what did we do differently? Or where did we go wrong? That she ended up like this. But it's like, bro, this is who I am.
Yeah, you got to grieve that.
Been walking. You know what I mean? This is just who she is.
I agree. I think that some of it comes out of fear. Say you grew up Southern Baptist and you honestly believe that, man, if you do anything against the Bible, you go into hell. Now you have a child and you think that your child is sinning and they're going to hell. That fear may cause you to do and say things that you think are out of love and not realize that you're affecting your child. That doesn't make it okay. But that's why we have to have conversations so we can know what's the root of why are you saying these things, Mom? Dad, why do you feel this way? And if you heard your parents really tell you the truth, like, I'm afraid for your soul, it's like, well, Dad and Mom, let's have some discussions about my soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all of these things can be healed with educated, empathetic conversations.
Yeah.
Not just casting out venom at people and pointing. And I certainly don't agree with just throwing scriptures at people or throwing homophobic comments at people. I don't agree with that either.
Yeah.
But there has to be conversations amongst all of us as people, how we can coexist. Because these lifestyles are not going anywhere.
Yeah. I had to tell my mom, like, when I was born, she prayed to have me and somebody prophesied over who I would be. So she always thought that God created me to have a purpose, you know? And I told her, God created me perfectly. I don't think that God created me gay because he wanted to send me to hell. You know what I'm saying? I don't think God created me this way if it was not okay. So you're going to have to accept it and that's it. But I also don't have any desire to talk to my mom about like who I'm dating and stuff like that. So
And that's also fine too.
That's fine.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have to bring that to her if you know that caused. And that's my point. I know this caused my mom grief. I'm not even going to bring that to my mom.
Right.
That's
and she's met some of my partners. She's, stayed with me when I was living
But
in
you
Rhode
don't have
Island.
to hide it. Because also hiding it is not good for your...
Yeah, I don't hide it. I don't hide it. I don't hide it for sure.
Funny without even trying to be funny. Like you don't see her face because I can see her face.
She said, we so excited.
Oh, you saw it? Nah. That's.
But I'll show you and your mom, or just you can bond over so many other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, that's my
You know
point.
what I'm saying? But it will be hard for you to be like, man, I really like when you meet your person. Like, I just love this person so much. I want to share this person with my family.
And she's still gonna be like, "Oh, how's your friend?"
Right.
And I'm gonna be like, "She's fine.
She's fine. It's my wife. Or whatever.
But here's my thing: in heterosexual relationships,
It'd be the same way.
You know what they tell you? Keep your parents out of your relationship.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep your parents out of your relationship, whether you're gay or straight. Like they don't need to know everything that's going on. Like
use your imagination if you.
Yeah,
if
you know what I'm saying?
Know what's happening.
Like, Mom, get out my bed. Like, why do you care? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And once they get closer to death and they realize you're not changing, they'll just be fine with it. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna die anyway. I ain't about to
get with it or get lost.
She got on
Eventually,
boxers
you're gonna be on your own
again.
trip.
She's never gonna stop wearing boxers.
The funny thing is, all of the elders in my family and the people I know who are devout Christians, right? As they do get older, they do start being like,
Man,
it's almost like they have clarity on different things. And then, like, the things I was worried about
Shit,
back
you ain't
then, I
fighting
ain't
no
even
more.
worried
Really
about
matter.
no more.
No. Told
I
you it
watched
starts at 40.
Yeah, my
Starts at
grandparents, I watched it. My aunts and uncles, certain people who I thought I was like, I'm never gonna see them again. They gay and got kids, and now I'm like, wait a minute, y'all around? And all their parents like, man, we don't care about that shit no more. And I'm like, see, all it took was y'all realizing that we all humans.
Yeah.
And that you can't change people's minds on everything, and now everybody could get along.
Everybody's fine. Or I have a cousin on one of my sides of the family that everybody know he's gay. And to this day, it's just like the elephant in the room. And it's like he moves on with his life and he's happy. And that's not a topic of conversation within the family. So it's like, okay, cool. Let him rock.
You said something last night, though, that I think was very profound. Kay was like, sometimes she gets upset and get depressed because all these things are happening around her. but nothing is actually happening to her. So she's making a choice to let these things bring her down. I think all of us as humans need to realize if nothing's exactly happening to me, why do I care so much and make it about me?
Bruh,
Like these things are
stress the
happening
fuck
around,
out.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If nothing's directly happening to affect me, let me focus on what I can change and what I can do and keep living my life truthfully. That's all you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you so much for writing in. And if you want to be featured as a listener letter for a future episode this year, write on in. We want the email box to be bubbling over, all right? theellisadvice@gmail.com.
That's TheEllisadvice@gmail.com.
All right. Time for Moment of Truth. We're talking about working on your craft, becoming a master at such. Did your craft choose you or did you choose your craft? Who wants to start?
I'll say my moment of truth is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Okay, Tribble.
Yes.
Yes, Tribble.
That's
I like
always,
That's actually really,
yeah.
really, really true.
My moment
Yes,
of
it
truth is get your reps up. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
I like
Period.
that too.
I don't got nothing better than those two. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Oh, you forgot what yours from earlier. Don't shit where you sleep.
Where you sleep, right.
Don't shit where you What you got, baby?
Mine would be, I got to rock with Josh and Matt on this one. Choose something that you love to do so that getting those reps in become fun. Because if you try to become a master at something you really don't like to do, you're going to hate every minute of it and you won't become a master at it.
I love that. The sooner you realize what your God-given talent is and then the skill behind it, greatness is where that intersection meets. That's where the magic happens. That's where the craft becomes second nature to you. All right, y'all. Be sure to follow us on social media. But before you do that, find us on Patreon. Shout out to our Patreon gang who's with us here in 2026.
Gang.
Love y'all down.
Gang.
You know, this is where you get the after show as well as exclusive Ellis Ever After content. So be sure to find us there. And of course, you can find us on social media at Ellis Ever After on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me at Kadeen I Am.
And I am Devale.
I'm _Matt.Ellis.
And I'm Joshua_Dwayne.
I'm at Tribs the Cool, TRIBBZ the Cool on everything.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. That ass, y'all.
That ass, baby.
Bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym?
Cut!
Ellis Ever After is an iHeartMedia podcast. It's hosted by Kadeen and Devale Ellis. It's produced by Tribble. Video production by Joshua Dwayne and Matthew Ellis. Video editing by LaShawn Rowe.